I sat in my car, parked across the street from a house I had never been to before. Inside, my wife was with another man. I knew exactly what they were doing, but I was not crying. I was not screaming. I was smiling, because this moment, this exact moment, was what I had been waiting for over the past 3 months. Megan thought karma had already punished her enough. She had no idea that I had been quietly preparing everything for a long time. It all started with one text message she forgot to delete. Before I get into this story, let me know in the comments where you are watching from today. If you have ever been betrayed by someone you trusted with your whole heart, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to see how I turned the tables on someone who thought she could destroy me without consequences, stay until the very end. This story is not just about revenge. It is about taking back control of your own life. My name is Randy. I am 32 years old, and I work as a senior accountant at a mid-sized firm in Phoenix, Arizona. Numbers have always made sense to me. Unlike people, numbers do not lie. They do not pretend to be something they are not. They do not look you in the eyes and tell you they love you while hiding secrets behind your back. I met Megan during our junior year at Arizona State University. She was studying marketing, and I was deep into my accounting major. We bumped into each other at a coffee shop near campus. She spilled her latte on my textbook, apologized with the most embarrassed smile I had ever seen, and insisted on buying me a new one. That was how it started. Simple, innocent, beautiful. We dated for 3 years before I proposed. She said yes before I even finished asking the question. We got married in a small ceremony with close friends and family. Her parents loved me. My parents adored her. Everyone said we were the perfect couple. For 6 years, I believed that too. We bought a 3-bedroom house in a quiet suburb about 20 minutes from downtown Phoenix. It had a nice backyard where we talked about building a swing set someday for the kids we planned to have. We had 2 cars, a joint savings account, and a 5-year plan that included starting a family by next year. I was even secretly saving up to buy Megan a new diamond ring for our 7th anniversary. Something bigger and more beautiful than the modest one I could afford when we first got engaged. Our life had a rhythm to it. Every Sunday morning, I would wake up early and make breakfast. Pancakes, scrambled eggs, fresh orange juice. Megan would come downstairs in her robe, hair still messy from sleep, and kiss me on the cheek before sitting down. She had this habit of leaving little notes in my work bag, things like, "Have a great day, my love," or "Cannot wait to see you tonight." I kept every single one of them in my desk drawer at work. I thought I knew everything about my wife. I thought we had no secrets. I was wrong. It started about 4 months ago. Small things at first. Things that most husbands probably would not even notice. Megan began coming home from work later than usual. She said her company had signed a big new client, and she was swamped with meetings. I believed her. Why would I not? She had always been dedicated to her job as a marketing manager at a real estate development firm. Then I noticed she started keeping her phone face down on every surface. The dinner table, the nightstand, the kitchen counter. She also changed her password. When I asked about it casually, she said she was worried about data security after reading some article online. Again, I believed her. She joined a gym and started going 4 or 5 times a week. She bought new clothes, new perfume. She started paying more attention to her makeup and hair before leaving for work each morning. I told myself she was just taking better care of herself. Maybe she was stressed and exercise was her outlet. Maybe she wanted to feel confident for her big presentations. I made excuses for every red flag because I did not want to see the truth. Then came the night that changed everything. Megan was in the shower. Her phone was on the bed, and it lit up with a notification. I was not trying to snoop. I just happened to glance at it. The message was from someone named Derek. "I missed you so much today. Cannot wait until Friday." My heart stopped. I read those words 3 times, hoping I had misunderstood. But there was no other way to interpret that message. I heard the shower turn off. I quickly looked away from the phone, pretending I had not seen anything. When Megan came out, she picked up her phone, smiled at whatever she read, and then deleted the message. That night, I lay next to her in bed, staring at the ceiling while she slept peacefully beside me. My mind was racing with questions. Who was Derek? How long had this been going on? Was everything I believed about my marriage a lie? Most men in my situation would have confronted their wives immediately. They would have demanded answers, screamed, maybe even thrown things. But I am not most men. I did not become a successful accountant by making emotional, impulsive decisions. I analyzed situations. I gathered data. So the next morning I woke up and made breakfast like nothing had happened. I kissed Megan goodbye and told her I loved her. She smiled and said she loved me too. But inside I had already made a decision. I was not going to act like a fool who let his emotions control him. I needed to know the full truth. I needed evidence, and I needed a plan. Because when I finally made my move, I wanted to make sure Megan would have nowhere to run and no way to spin this in her favor. The next 3 months were the hardest of my life. I had to pretend everything was normal while secretly investigating my own wife. Every smile I gave her felt like a betrayal of myself. Every kiss felt like poison on my lips, but I kept going because I knew the truth would set me free. The first thing I did was hire a private investigator. His name was Harold. He was 55 years old, a retired police detective who now ran his own small agency. He had a weathered face, tired eyes, and a no-nonsense attitude that I immediately respected. I told him everything I knew, which was not much at that point, just a name and a suspicion. Harold got to work immediately. Within 2 weeks, he had confirmed my worst fears. Derek was not just some random guy. He was 38 years old, the vice president of sales at Megan's company. He was her direct superior. And according to Harold's findings, they had been having an affair for almost a year, not 4 months like I had thought. An entire year of lies, deception, and betrayal happening right under my nose. Harold showed me photographs that made my stomach turn. Megan and Derek having dinner at expensive restaurants I had never taken her to, the two of them walking into a hotel together, his hand on the small of her back. Them kissing in a parking garage, not even trying to hide it. Each photo felt like a knife twisting deeper into my chest, but the worst part was what Harold found on Megan's cloud backup. She had been careless with her digital security, and Harold was able to access some of her deleted messages. I read conversations where Megan called me boring. She said I had no ambition, no passion, no excitement. She compared me to Derek and talked about how he made her feel alive in ways I never could. I also discovered that Megan had been paying for their hotel rooms with our joint credit card. She was using our money, the money I worked overtime to save to fund her affair. The betrayal was not just emotional. It was financial too. During those 3 months, I went through every stage of grief. Denial came first, even though I had evidence right in front of me. Then anger, which burned so hot I thought it would consume me. Bargaining followed, where I wondered if maybe I had done something wrong, if maybe I could have been a better husband. Depression hit me the hardest. There were nights when I would drive to an empty parking lot after work and just sit in my car crying for hours before going home to face Megan. But eventually I reached acceptance. Not acceptance of what she had done, but acceptance of what I needed to do. I was not going to simply file for divorce and split everything down the middle. Megan did not deserve half of what we had built. She did not deserve to walk away from this marriage with a comfortable settlement while I picked up the pieces of my shattered life. And Derek, the man who helped destroy my family while having a family of his own, was not going to escape unscathed either. I learned that Derek was married to a woman named Samantha. She was 35, a third-grade teacher at an elementary school across town. They had 2 children, a boy and a girl, ages 7 and 9. From everything I could find, Samantha had no idea her husband was unfaithful. She posted happy family photos on social media, talking about date nights and family vacations. She was living in the same lie I had been living. I also discovered something interesting about Megan's company. They had strict policies about workplace relationships, especially between supervisors and subordinates. If the affair became known, both Derek and Megan could face serious professional consequences. Additionally, I found emails suggesting that Derek had been giving Megan preferential treatment at work. He assigned her to the most lucrative accounts and made sure she got the biggest commission checks. That was not just an affair. That was corruption. My plan began to take shape. Step 1. I quietly moved my personal bonus money into a separate account that only I had access to. This was completely legal since it was money I had earned individually. But it ensured Megan could not touch it when the divorce proceedings started. Step 2. I hired the best divorce attorney in Phoenix. Her name was Patricia, and she had a reputation for being ruthless in court. I gave her all the evidence Harold had collected and asked her to prepare everything for when I was ready to file. Step 3. I gathered all the documentation about Derek's professional misconduct. The emails about preferential treatment, the records of company policy violations, everything that could end his career. Step 4. I identified the perfect moment to execute my plan. Megan's company was hosting their annual celebration gala in 2 months. Derek was scheduled to receive an award for outstanding sales performance. Samantha would be there as his +1. All the key players would be in the same room. I just had to wait. Sometimes karma works faster than you expect. 2 weeks before the company gala, something unexpected happened. Derek got into a minor car accident. Nothing serious, just a fender bender on his way to work. Instead of calling his wife, he called Megan. The call appeared on the display screen of his car, and Samantha, who was following behind him in her own vehicle to drop off the kids at school, saw everything. That night, Samantha went through Derek's phone while he was sleeping.